Welcome, everybody, to Intuitive Idiots. The question of the day is, what motivates you?
What motivates me? Shit. Not a whole lot, let's be honest. I would say the only thing that really motivates me is clearly myself. And so what that means is just like what I've been doing, the videos that I've been making and the writing. Those are the kind of only two things that really motivate me in this world. Other than that, nothing.
The writing. Why?
Well, to put it very simply, I'd say the writing is kind of like how Jungian talks about this inner journey. I did not really set out to do that, but as I discovered that's what it is, that's kind of been the main goal. So I just been traveling inwards to uncover who I am and what I am. And honestly, along the way, I've had a lot of different revelations, but the main one was to uncover what what I believe to be is this inner truth. And actually, it came to me in a dream. So I had a dream, and it told me, if you want to get to the truth of this all, basically, to put it very simply, you must go deeper and deeper, farther and farther into yourself until you come to this point where you're beyond everything, beyond your thoughts, beyond your feelings, beyond your life, beyond all of the emotions you've ever felt, the people you've met. Once you get past all that, you'll get to this thing called the little I. And from that point, that's where the truth will lie. And so I kind of take that as an objective. And as of now, that is what's motivating me.
Why do you want to get to the little eye?
I just know I need to. It's kind of like, so like I've been really on about, you could call them personal daemons if you want, guardian angels if you want. But I feel as if I'm being driven to do the things I've been doing for a very, very, very long time.
You're not choosing to do this then.
No, not really. I would rather just lay around and do nothing. But this is kind of forcing me to do things that I'm very uncomfortable with, whether that's writing these stories and doing these very deep personal exercises where I'm pushing out things that are within myself that made me and putting it on a piece of paper and eventually a screen. No, I do not want to do any of this at all. But the motivating factor is you got to do it. This is just what you're supposed to do.
Okay, so it's sort of like going to work.
Basically, yeah. But I'm a very reluctant person. I'm always the kind of guy that's like, I'd rather just lay around. I'd rather do nothing. But for whatever reason, it's just like, this is like, come on, man, you got to get up. You got to keep doing this. You got to keep writing. You got to keep, even though you fucking hate writing, you got to do it every day.
You hate writing?
Oh, yeah. I'm not a big fan of doing it at all. It's so hard. It's like I sat
Like,
today and I wrote 10 pages of
did your demon in the dream like give you another option?
no, no. It's whatever comes to me. So like this podcast, that's part of it. It all fell into place. So that's got to be another part. Music. So writing music, doing these like the videos on my channel, and now the podcast here. Those are the main outlets for it. But for whatever reason, it's basically just keep puking out this stuff and see what lands and what sticks. And people start to resonate with it. And because they're resonating with it, that to me is the satisfaction of like, okay, maybe I'm on the right path.
They resonate with your videos.
Yeah. Yeah. Most of the videos. I have not shown my actual writing. Well, I have. It's the Forgotten series, but that's something it's going to take a long time for people to really get that. So I don't hang my hat on that one.
I almost feel like it's one of those look over here, don't look over here thing
Mm-hmm.
that you're doing yourself. And we all do this, where you're going to focus on your writing,
Mm-hmm.
and then since your videos are kind of an avenue for that as well,
Mm-hmm.
you're like, well, the videos are tied in with that.
Yeah.
But you don't want to screw up what you're doing with the videos because it's like, okay, well, people watch it.
Yeah.
They can relate to a guy's, don't like his job and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But to you, it's, well, I'm pursuing this thing that is noble and right.
Yeah. The videos are kind of like, here's just the day to day of what it's like on the other side. So that way, when I show the Forgotten series, which will turn into these subsequent very deep stories, you'll just kind of see the other side of it instead of the big question mark, like, I don't understand what the writer was thinking here, or this or that. Like, no, you'll see it. So there's no confusion of like what I thought, felt, saw in my life. You know, it's here's the life that I'm lived, and the work will speak for itself. You know.
And everyone will just be like, well, just put out another video.
Mm-hmm.
Bitch about your job again.
I know that's all they. That's all. You know. Yeah.
That's how things work. The stuff that you try hard to do is going to be greatly ignored.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're finally going to give up writing, and then someone's going to discover the book, or like you'll die, and then the next day it'll be like, wow, this is really good.
Yeah. Exactly. I know.
And like old following. Writing motivates you because it distracts you.
Yeah. It's like I would say the
Or does
writing is the channeling process. It's the like, okay, so okay, this is what you got to do. This is the
when you're
tool.
so when you're doing it, Andre,
Uh-huh.
I know you said you like it, but when it's just flowing,
Mm-hmm.
what kind of feeling is that? When I'm like doing mashups, or even just when I used to write music, and there was sort of like a I am like eternal feeling that I got,
Mm-hmm.
where it was like I am eternal, I am forever, I am everybody. Like there's like no FOMO, nothing can touch you.
Mm-hmm.
Feel something like that?
What I've learned over the years of writing is I'm there. I'm deathly afraid of doing it. When I go to the keyboard, typewriter, those are the main vehicles that I use. I'm scared
Before you go on, what else are you afraid of?
before the writing.
Yeah,
Fucking whole shit ton of things. I don't know. Life, really. I'm scared of living.
I mean, it doesn't have to be anything too specific, but like if you're afraid of quitting your job, if you're afraid of talking to women, if you're afraid of, I'm not saying that you are with this,
Mm-hmm.
but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a lot of the things that we do can replace that. Sort of
Mm-hmm.
like if you watch porn, um,
Mm-hmm.
you lie to the back of your mind. You like lie to your subconscious, and your subconscious is like, it's cool. I'm fucking like 100 different chicks every
Yeah.
day.
Yep.
Um, that's why I could fuck you up so bad. But
Yeah. Yep.
it's sort of like you're living out your own hero's journey.
Yeah.
You're conquering the beast, doing something that you're afraid to do, but you're doing it. You're accomplishing it. I mean, the same thing with people that go to work, like teaching. Is standing in front of 30 kids that you don't know, 30 like 17-year-olds that don't want to hear what you have to say. It's intimidating.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what, I would have a sense of accomplishment because I did it. I did the thing that, now, meanwhile, while I'm doing that, I should be, like investing in land or something,
Mm-hmm.
like, painting a mural or saving the world. I don't
Yeah.
know. But because I'm doing something that's like, well, something where my subconscious can be satisfied, you could put it like that.
Mm-hmm. Like for me, like
Yeah.
I was saying, when before I do that, I'm scared. And I had to ask myself, what are you afraid of for a long time? Like, okay, you're going to sit down, you're going to write. And what are you going to write? I'm going to write my story, my mythology. I'm going to write this epic fantasy, right? Why are you scared? I'd always ask myself, well, what's the fear, man? When I approach this, I approach it the very same way that I did when I first went into a church and I saw the tabernacle. As soon as I saw that fucking thing, I was scared. I was in awe. I was in shock. I was like, holy fuck, dude. Like, if that's what you claim it is, the body of God inside of it, that's absolutely fucking terrifying. I feel so small. And that same feeling is how I feel when I approach the typewriter because I've built it up to this very spiritual thing. I look at it as like a shamanic experience. I'm letting out some weird inner world, puking it onto a piece of paper and just trying to figure out what it's telling me. And that's scary. And the other scary thing is I did it today. I wrote 9 pages. And as I was writing it, the whole time I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I don't understand what's happening. Why does this keep happening? Like, what do I do now? Like, now what happens? I don't even know. And it's just like this big question mark. It feels like you're walking down this massive building, and there's a bunch of doors, and you're just opening doors. And you're like, well, what's in here? Well, what's in there? Well, what's in here? And what I'm thinking is going on is I'm turning off some aspect of my mind and allowing another to explore itself. And I'm using, what I'm learning and just putting it into characters or putting it into scenarios or blah, blah, blah. And to me, it's this very spiritual exploration that is absolutely terrifying. But when I find the flow state, when I find the, oh my God, the words are like your hands are moving faster than your brain, and you just kind of like, oh my God, I found that state and I'm pouring out the story. There's a part of me that wants it to end. It's like, stop, please, can we stop this writing? I don't want to write anymore. I'm scared. I don't want to do this. And I have to find a way to overcome that every time. And I know, looking back at my writing, what sections were those points where I was like, I don't want to write this. I don't want to write this. I don't know why it's so terrifying for me, but when I'm done, I always come out and I feel like, oh my God, I fucking did that. Holy shit. This is one aspect that motivates me. I feel like I'm driven to do this thing and I do not want to do it. But the minute I sit down and like, okay, do it, I'm trepidatious, I'm frightened. But when I accomplish it, I always feel like, dude, look, see, you did it. You did it, dude. Like, look at you. This is what happens every time. You always get it done and you feel better. And you just got to remember that. So for me, the motivation is knowing that, like, I don't know, this is something I'm meant to do. And I just got to keep doing it until I uncover whatever the fuck it is I'm trying to uncover.
Just thinking of parallels. Taking a shower.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'll take a shower, but then you get in the water, and you're like, oh,
yeah,
that's awesome.
Exactly.
Even like doing the dishes. Dishes take like
a while. Yeah.
Like mindless thing to do, but once they pile up, it just looks so foreboding,
Oh yeah.
But so what motivates you is conquering your fears.
Yeah, basically, put it simply.
I mean, it motivates everybody, right?
Yeah.
To an extent. What happens if you conquer your fears?
So when I conquer my fears, at first I'm always like, huh. Like I feel kind of blasé about it. Like, anyway, whatever. Like when I finished an entire book, the one that you read, I was like, eh. Like it didn't feel special. It didn't feel like, oh my God, I had conquered it. I feel powerful. It just kind of felt like, oh, Jesus, now I got more to do. Like I know that there's more work to be done.
So why do you want to conquer your fears?
Well,
conquer your fears, and it's like, meh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. That's what I ask myself all the time. Like, what the fuck are we doing this for? Yeah, all the time. But then that's when it comes into like, well, I don't want to do this, But then there's that quiet sensation, voice, feeling, I don't know, vibe that's telling me this is what you have to do. Like it's not going to be comfortable. We're not here to please you. You're not living in this world to be pleased. You're living in this world to figure something the fuck out. And you don't have a whole lot of time to do it. Like it almost feels like, so within this world and my job and my family, I feel like I don't get to fucking rest. I feel like I'm always just on the brink of just like breaking down because it's like I got to figure things out. I got to make things work. I got to figure things out. Make that happen. No one's doing this. I got to figure that out. And it turns into like everyone sit the fuck down, let me fucking handle it, and then we'll get it done. And that's even in this writing here. I'm like, no one's fucking saying this shit. So guess who's got to come around and fucking do it? Like it kind of feels like that. Like I'm a little irritated at this world that no one's figuring their shit out, and I gotta sit here and hold hands and fucking walk people to rooms and say, "Here's where you sit. That's where you sit." Now,
yesterday, I had a very similar feeling because I put out a mashup and it didn't get much very good feedback as far as numbers. But I know I fucking killed it. Like I did it the right way. I didn't try to micromanage it. I heard it before I made it. It's stuck in my head like a freaking
earworm.
Yeah, it was an earworm. I heard it at night. I heard it when I woke up. I was like, okay, like that's usually how, sort of like, it's like something is like pushing this thing on you. You're like, I got to get it out. So I got it out, and then not a great reaction, but I kind of did the meh thing. Like, okay, well, on to the next. But I don't really need to make another one.
Yeah. So why do you?
I won't.
So you just don't do it. When you feel that I don't need to do this, you won't do it?
If I get frustrated like that, no, I'm not going to do it. Now tomorrow I could wake up and there's something banging around in my head, and it's like, okay, we got to do this again. But in the meantime, I try not to let it like I don't let it frustrate me.
So like
When I
I can totally
it,
understand that. I can understand
like
that mindset. Yeah, of course. You kind of let it sit. So that's what happens when it comes to okay, so what I showed you in the mythology that I'm writing, I wrote it up to a certain point where the Harry is confronted. You remember, you remember. I don't need to ruin anything, and it just ended there. So like I could sit there and get frustrated, like, well, what the fuck happens? What happens? Like I don't know what fucking happens.
kind of work.
Yeah, and because I let it set, however long it's been, however many months, I don't even know. I already know what's going to happen. I know how to write it. I just have to fucking write it. So you left us on a cliffhanger. Now what? And I say, I don't fucking know. So I'll just go off and write other things, or I'll watch certain videos, or listen to certain music. Just kind of do something, make my my inner thoughts series. Just puke stuff out, and then eventually something comes, a dream will happen, or a thought will appear, and then I'm like, okay, we're ready to go. Let's get back on the trail again. So like, yeah, you at times it is a good idea to just set it down and just say, I'm not here yet. I'm really frustrated. Let's just kind of chill and enjoy ourselves, play a video game or watch a movie or whatever it is you do that you relax, and it'll come when it comes. Time, there is no thing as fucking time limits in this stuff, and I think that's a good way to approach it. Don't have a time limit. Don't tell yourself it's got to be done in a month or I'm fucked. Well, then you're gonna screw up because you're never gonna accomplish it. And like that's why I always tell myself, like, yeah, you've been writing all this shit for 12 plus years. And it's like, well, when is there going to be an end to it? And I say, I don't know. Whenever it tells me there's a fucking end to it. It's not that simple.
One thing that I've done throughout life is I've done these like little 2 3 year excursions. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I always had like too many interests as a kid. I like sports. I like Power Rangers. I like uh, Ninja Turtles. You name it. Right.
Mm-hmm.
For a while, I thought it was like, well, it's probably just this is like my last lifetime on Earth, and I'm just trying a little bit of everything,
Mm-hmm.
which could be. Um, like 2 years I did golf, got really into golf, and 2 years I did boxing. I was joined a boxing gym. I took boxing lessons, and did the wrestling thing. And sometimes I wonder, it's like, was that just to distract myself from
Mm.
what I was supposed to be doing, if there is such a thing, or from maybe motivations that weren't so upfront? I was wondering. So I wrote down, the seven deadly sins.
Yeah, yeah.
So when I was pledging my fraternity, we had seven pledge brothers. Right, there's seven of us.
Mm-hmm.
So we joked around and we're like, we're the seven deadly sins, and like we went down the list, and like each one of us had one that was pronounced.
Really?
Yeah.
So what does that mean?
One. No. Okay. So yeah, just kind of leaving that. Just
Yeah.
leaving you on that there.
Ah, okay.
Something to think about. Uh, when it comes to what motivates you, these are all like motivations, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, you said you'd rather just sit around and do nothing. So right there, that's sloth. Right.
Right. Yeah. 100%.
I know, like Amy is definitely gluttony. Like she, we've talked about this a million times. She's like, how can you just like have a snack and then eat a little bit and put it away? I just do. I get pissed off when I have to eat usually because I'm like, man, I got shit to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But regardless, like that's, I feel like everybody has one that's like a big deal.
Yeah.
For me, it's definitely lust. But
Well, that one bothers me too.
one thing that I think about is like I'm in a relationship. So am I just distracting myself from
Yeah.
like going out and just finding strange?
I know. Yeah. I do that too.
And that
I'll even like play it out. Like, here's how I could, and
work?
here's the ones I can line up. Yeah, I do that all the time too.
why don't we all just go and be single?
For me personally, in that questioning, I made a commitment, and so like I had a long, really hard relationship with my wife. You know, we've been through a lot. You know, we've
Not let your relationship. I'm just because when I was married, that was a big part of it.
mhm,
I didn't realize how like the wedding vows stick in the like the back of your mind.
right, yeah,
It became clear afterwards, like why they have a ceremony with all your friends and family. It's like accountability. But
yes,
go on.
100%. For me, my wife's not really crazy though. That's a cool thing. She's actually the calm one. You know, I always kind of find myself with people that are my opposite, more rigid. They're more calm. They're a lot more like grounded, whereas I'm more whimsical and just like fucking. Like, we're gonna do this today. I don't fucking know why, and then we're gone. You know, and she's very comfortable in herself. I mean, she's just a very attractive woman, so she has nothing to be jealous of. You know, so that helps too. She doesn't have this low self esteem about things. You know, if I talk about a woman, she's like, "Oh yeah, I know, she's pretty fucking hot." You know, so like I don't I have this layer in my relationship that keeps it easier and stuff. But the reason I'm with her, the reason I don't, you know, let's just say go off as much as I really want to, is, you know, I kind of promised I would take care of her, and I see her as somebody, not like take care of her like she's invalid or she's some simple little woman, like not like that. I just mean our relationship to me is me learning something, because like we've been, I just kind of been reaffirmed with a lot of different things. We're destined to be together. There's been too many strange occurrences in my life with her specifically that I can't keep pretending like that's coincidence. Like that's not, you know, we're destined to be together. She's the yin to my yang, and we can just exist in a way. She shares a lot of the things with me. So for me, what grounds me is she's my home. That's the biggest thing. Like I have this home, sure, and this is all her doing. This was not me. I didn't want to
Mhm.
do this. She was the one who said we got to do this, and I'm like, I don't want to. And I kicked and screamed, but when it came down to it, like she is the stabilizing factor and the only real thing that's holding my one foot into this world. You know,
Why do you want to have a world?
well, I have to if I'm going to exist here. That's the only reason I am here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you to come here on accident. I don't know. I mean, that would suck if I found out like, yeah, you totally can go to Earth on accident. You know, but in my estimation, thus far, could be proven wrong. Is I came here for a reason. I better find an anchor. You know, I can't just let myself be adrift in the ocean so much. Do you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I know exactly what you mean. And surface level, like that's awesome that you have that kind of relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Feel similarly with Amy. As far as an accident coming here, I generally what I go with when that comes up in my mind is it seems like clearing karma,
Yeah.
right? So God is playing The Sims, and he's not going to want characters who are like who are just like, well, I don't need to have her. It's okay. Yeah, she's cute.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever.
Yeah.
They have to be. This has to be something wrong with them. Otherwise, there's no drama, and then there's you don't. It's like the whole argument of how why does good God let bad things happen? Like, shut the fuck up. You clearly do not get it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
okay, so there are no bad things that happens to anybody. Guess what? There's no good things then either. I'm thinking that that's all connected with some sort of karmic debt.
Mm.
Karmic debt. So you're whimsical, right? And I'm sure that that's burned you before.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You know, you've made some bad decisions because of that, and then it's like, okay, well, this kind of evens the scales for you,
Mm.
your relationship.
Oh yeah. Yep. Balance.
Um, but it's
Yeah.
still there.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, like I know the end game. I know that like this is going to be good for me, but it's still there. It's like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like this thing that's deep down inside. It's like I look at it like There's a lot of aspects of myself that are always going to be there that either I don't want or I'm uncomfortable with or I know I need to change. Like only I'm thinking only negative. That's all. Yeah, that all exists inside of myself. I'm capable of heinous shit if I really get down to it. For some reason, I'm capable of being a bastard, a liar. I
Well,
can.
like people have to be capable of heinous shit in order for like there to be good and bad.
Right, right. And but the thing I was saying is like, so what do we work on when we know this about ourselves? We understand this to be a world of dualities, and I know it extends beyond that, but let's keep it simple for right now. We know that we exist in a world that says there is such thing as good and there is such thing as evil, and it's capable of within us and the society at large. So what's the thing, right? Would keep a I don't know, you could say balance, I guess, would be like a compass, a moral compass. It's like, okay, like why don't you just kill that person? They made you mad. That would satisfy you, would it not? Like, well, yeah, but I can't because morals and blah blah blah. Whether
Yeah,
external morals of your culture and your world around you, but most likely internal ones. That's what external things help you understand. That's what religion's about. Do you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? That's what law's about. It's just external sources to help you realize self.
If you ask somebody why wouldn't you kill that person, they're like, "Well, I get caught." Wrong answer. Wrong answer.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but why is that the wrong answer? The best reasoning for it I can think of is because I know I wouldn't want that, right? Like
Mm.
that's you know, or even I think even broader too. Like that would cause emotional pain for the people that you care about. Even if you,
Right.
because like if I'm going to kill you, I already don't like you, so I don't give a shit about what you feel.
Right.
But like, it would cause pain to
That are
the
connected
people.
to you. Yeah.
I have nothing against them. Then go even deeper. It could cause pain to the collective,
Mm-hmm.
and would lower the collective vibration,
That's true.
and
Yeah.
it would lower my own vibration,
Yeah.
like a
It's like
guilty kind of thing.
yeah, kind of like when you look at frequencies and stuff like that. Like you kind of are trying to stay at this certain level. You tuned into it, and then committing some sort of act can kind of lower you, and now you're not there anymore, and now you're down here, and you could change your makeup of your mind, the way you perceive things. It's like letting yourself fall prey to the darker aspects of yourself are the things you got to avoid, I guess.
And I've tried to toy with that. Like, well, what if I just play video games a little longer?
Right.
What if I mow the lawn today? And especially with this time off, I kind of get time to examine things like that.
Yeah.
Um, just I could always do it tomorrow. So I was like,
Hmm.
so why don't I do that? My head or whoever just won't leave me the fuck alone if I do.
Hmm.
And it'll make me feel like crap the rest of the day. Even knowing that, I can't tune that out completely.
Like knowing that you're able to do something, but you aren't doing it.
Knowing that I should do something, all right, whether, let's say, do the laundry,
Uh-huh.
go on.
Duties, things you have to take care of.
Sure, yours. Yeah, like your mind won't leave you alone. It's sort of like the demon in the dream won't let you just not write.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's like for
You
me
can turn
the
it off, but it keeps coming back at you.
well, for me it's guilt. So that's the
Yeah,
overwhelming sensation that I feel if I were to distill it. It's guilt. Like I'm not doing this because whatever fucking thing I'm feeling at that day. But most likely it's just me being hard on myself, knowing I got shit to do. Um, and then that does extend to the simple daily life, like you're describing, the chores, the things you got to have done. Like I got to go get that part because I got to fix this fucking thing. I don't really want to do that. I got to do my oil. Like it extends to so many mundane tasks, but it's also to the core of things that are really important to you.
yeah.
And that's for me why I think there's a trepidation for like my artistic expression. It's like there's a lot of guilt because I'm not doing the thing I'm supposed to do.
So we're all motivated to not feel guilty.
Yeah.
That's all motivation is. That's it.
So then what?
Find out where the guilt's coming from.
Can you say for yourself what that guilt is? Like where it's coming from?
My mind first went to like my parents. Um, my dad was here after the storm that we had in 2021, and he was helping me fix the place up. So we were working and working, and I mean, I was working my job and then coming home and doing more work. And while I was at my job, he was every day he was working. And so one day I got home from work, and my dad said, "Do you want me to do?" He was going to put some beams up in the attic, and like it didn't. He didn't really need to. Just it was for reinforcement, but it didn't need it at the time. And I was just kind of tired. I'm like, I don't know. You know, I wouldn't.
Hmm.
He's like, well, I have to be doing something. Sirens went off in my head. So I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, I get it. That your boss comes around, you start shuffling papers, that kind of feeling,
Yeah.
where it's like you have to, but that's coming from you, right? Like
Right.
he feels like he's doing something. I appreciated that he was doing it, but it was just this like I have to be doing something productive. Over time, you can kind of lessen the guilt feeling. I wonder if you can actually, not that you'd want to. If you look at like serial killers, and some of them say that they have no remorse,
Yeah.
which I don't know if that's possible. Like,
I know that people that are on I don't remember what they call it. There's like psychotic spectrum or some shit. The main
yeah,
four, you know. I know that they say they are capable of empathy, but that doesn't necessarily mean they understand it the way like you and I would, or they can turn
yeah,
things off. So I get what you're saying. You know, like.
but it's I've been like that before.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to save this for later, but I want to do a show about demonic possession.
Okay.
I was definitely possessed once. The more that I could hurt someone um, emotionally, the better.
Mm-hmm.
Like the better it made me feel. The law of one talks about a small percentage of people on Earth that are service to self, and if they don't, like, if they're not an asshole, it makes them physically sick.
Hmm.
Same way that like being an asshole makes a normal person like age quicker, right? Or
Yeah.
like being unhappy, like frowning a lot, like it wrinkles in your face and like
Right.
it makes
Right.
you age. Um, it can get you sick, just like with stress. But it's like if they're not like creating chaos and stress, um, it's the opposite,
Mm-hmm.
which explains a lot. after after working in the education system for 3 years, that explains a whole lot.
How so?
You notice how some things just don't get better,
Mm-hmm.
like government.
Yeah.
Some people, it's just like everything they do makes shit worse. I don't know if that was different back in the day. That's probably just been a thing that's always been.
Yeah.
Like everybody says, well, politics used to be civil. Like, no, it's just now we have the fucking internet.
You
So
can
now we know
see
what
it
everybody's
more. Yeah. It's always been happening, but now everyone's more aware of it. Yeah.
yeah. So avoiding guilt. That's that's what motivates all of us.
Seems to be. I mean, like, okay, so if I were to sit and say, well, why are, because that's the first thing that you say. If I go to therapy, that's the first thing she's going to ask. Why do you feel guilty? And you could go into your life and your traumas and your in your childhood, and we can just,
Gonna
oh,
be one of these.
yeah, we could do the whole, oh, because of my mom when I was growing up, blah blah blah. Like, yeah, I can tell you the whole story, and that would be somewhat sufficient. But on a deeper level, when you know something about yourself and you continue to do it, that's what I'm getting at. So it's like you can know, like, oh, I have problems with this because when I was young, this happened to me, and then that happened to me, and now I don't trust people, and so blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, great. So you know that about yourself, then why you keep doing it, right? So that I can say with guilt. I can say, I know why traumatically through my childhood, why I carry all the guilt that I carry. Um, and to keep it really simple, I've been made to feel by other people and by myself that I have to carry the burden of everyone else. Okay, so you know this about yourself and you don't like it, so why do you keep doing it? Because I guilt. So clearly, you can understand it about yourself, but why don't you choose to get out of such a thing? Why do you allow yourself? Is this just a victim thing? Is this how you can make yourself feel better? Going like, well, look at me, how much I struggle, and this and that, and that's what that's what I begin to realize about myself. Like you're just being a victim. So you're saying that, oh, I have so much of a burden to carry, And in reality, it's like not only are you still putting that on yourself, but you're filming it, dude. So you're being a victim. And that's what I told myself. And once I realized that, it made it a bit easier. And now let's say, okay, so I still feel guilt. I'm a human being. So where is that coming from? It doesn't come from anyone anymore. It doesn't come from the guys I'm working on the mythology with. It doesn't come from my parents. It doesn't come from the life I lived. My guilt now is purely because I know I can do better. And because I'm fighting that, like you said, I'm being like a sloth. The guilt is I need to stop doing that. I am capable of doing such great things, and I'm sitting here holding myself down. And I've turned it from external to internal now. And that's the only way that I know how to work with it now. I'm not saying that, like, this is it, guys, you got it. No more thoughts for you. Like, that's just what I've learned so far about
Yeah.
guilt.
And as far as your therapist, I'd say, well, why do you need to do great things? You're good enough, Andre.
Yeah, yeah, I know, right?
Right? Because, but I need to be doing something.
Yeah,
Um,
purpose.
so I made a little flow chart that um, I think just about comes full circle. So I don't know if you could see it, but right, we have our seven deadly sins. Right, these motivate us. And why are they sins? Because of the guilt. You can get rid of the guilt, but you get rid of all guilt, no people.
Yeah,
You're not gonna have people around. If you don't have any people around, you're bored.
yeah.
You're not playing the game. You're not incarnating. You're not actually living.
So it's like a motivating factor. Guilt plays into our sense of duty, our sense of purpose. Seems to be purpose is the biggest word that's jumping out of my head. What am I here for? Like what I was just saying about myself. Let's keep it simple. Well, I don't feel guilt externally. I feel it internally now. So the problem is me, and I need to be better because I know I can. Why? Well, and for me, it's like, well, that's purpose. Like I know I'm supposed to do this thing that I can be good at, and I'm keep running from it. I'm scared to do it. I have to do it. So that to me screams purpose in a sense, at least surface level.
If you strip everything down, it just turns into what are you going to do now? Let's strip it down to that, right?
Well, my biggest thing that I like to live with is question marks. It's like I don't know what I'm going to do most of the time. I know what my rituals are. Say it again.
That can be fun because like nothing is ever how you picture it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're like planning every little detail out, something's not going to go according to plan, and then you get all fucked up.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah, I gave that up a long time ago.
and especially like if you ever done something and your mind's somewhere else, you're not gonna really dive into it and get the most out of that experience.
There's this idea that you're kind of completing this thing that I have to set out to do. Like, what am I doing today? Right? That's the topic that we're going for. Well, in my life, I'd say I don't know what I'm doing today, but I know what I must do, right? Like I got to do my job and blah, blah, blah. But if I eliminate all the things I must do, you know, I ask myself, what do you do with the time that you have for yourself? And a lot of it for me is built around working on myself, working on understanding. So when I'm reading all these books, I'm writing, I'm trying to do whatever I need to do for my mythology. It's like, do I necessarily want to sit here and read about 17th century France right now? Not really, but I need to understand a little bit deeply what exactly is the French Revolution to those specific people and aristocracy, and what about the peasants? Like I'm trying to explore my idea of, because for me, my purpose is empathy. If I were to throw you down and say, strip it down to its most naked core, I'm just trying to figure the shit out. I just want to know why people do what they do and what I can understand about it. For me, like tell me, and I want to know. And
Why is that an individual thing though?
like so, empathy.
It's saying like, is there any reason why you think it's the? I get that that's what you think or what appears to be your purpose,
Hmm.
but why is it? Do you think it's just you, or
That
is
does
that a universe?
this. That does what I'm talking about.
All of it.
I doubt it. I doubt it. I think everyone does it on their own level. I would
I think God
imagine.
takes all these like messed up people and stupid people and bad people and throws them all on a blue marble and says, "Go." And he's like, "Let's see if they can do empathy."
I don't know if that's the point of it, but I would say so. We carry within us the vast multitude of our own consciousness, right? As far as we can understand it, and as far as we've been taught, we all have our own. I got mine over here. You got yours there. Mine has been tinged by the world that I've lived and my experiences and blah blah blah. My intellect level has created me as my separate individual self, right? And you over there, and so that's at least what we're taught. That's not the point I'm layering towards. So in my mind, it's like, okay, well, we're all living with our own individual self of I. I am me. I live here. This is what I do. This is what I like. This is how I feel. And you can have something totally separate. So I always thought about like, why is there so many different people with so many different expressions, so many different colors, so many different ways of looking at one goddamn thing? I show you a picture of a fucking pen, and I got a bunch of people saying many different things about it. So one would say, oh, like here's what I first heard when I first started getting into this spirituality. The first thing I heard was the vast infinitude of, that's how you say that, of the world and humanity is so beautiful and wondrous that God wanted to understand on every level. So he fractured himself into so many different parts so he can take it all in as one beautiful thing. He is subjective consciousness living throughout all of us, the world, the plants, the trees, the sky, the cosmos, and your fucking cells, so he can understand how beautiful it all really is. He's just jacking off to his own painting, is how I first heard this idea. Like, that's why everyone's so different and why it's so vast. But I feel like you're going to say something, so I'll let you jump in if you want.
I was thinking about this when we talked about the little I and sitting on the chair as opposed to going out and incarnating as something. In Kabbalah, you have the concept of the seat of Osiris, where
Perfect.
you sit in the seat, right, and
Mm-hmm.
then you can go out and incarnate as things. But the best way to live is to still be in the seat and while you're incarnating. So, in other words, if I go to an Islanders game, let's say, and they lose,
To the Red Wings.
I'm not gonna I'm not gonna like lose my mind, right?
Right.
I'm not gonna be like, God damn it, you know.
Yeah.
I actually did burn a Giants jersey in my backyard.
Oh, man.
Um, I was in my 20s, my
Yeah.
early 20s. As I went to a game, they lost, but and then they won the Super Bowl. So then I thought it was
Oh.
like a cool thing. So I did it the next year, and they
Damn it.
jerseys. But you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's being, but still being able to enjoy the game and
Mm-hmm.
fully experiencing it as a fan, but remembering that you're just playing a role.
Right, right, of course. That's what Joseph Campbell talked about in participation of the game.
Oh, he's way ahead of me.
Well, I mean, he studies mythologies and stuff like that, you know. But what you're describing is the idea of, okay, so you can have your internal self, and the idea that mythology always explains is just discovering self. That's the biggest thing you want to do, right?
Well,
You're understanding your, well, here's my point. You're understanding your major purpose, this and that. But a lot of mythology will talk about this external world that you have to participate in, this grand game. And he used examples like maybe you get drafted into Vietnam, because this is what he was talking about in the past. That's participating in the game, whether you want to or not. Other times it's like, no, I'm going to go and be a part of my church. You can have your sense of yourself and what you're discovering in the little I, this little aspect of who you are, but you, that, like I was saying earlier, you have your other foot in the world. Like, I still go out and go to my job and participate in the daily bullshit that I have to do there. I still have to participate in whatever aspect of life that's around me. You choose the world external to you. So what you're kind of describing is like, yeah, you can go to that sports game and participate. Like, I want to go here. I want to have a fun time. This is it. But that's not me. I'm not like Mr. fucking Islanders, because I can walk away from that. You're just participating in the idea of it.
we're all kind of like genies. Like we go back in the bottle, you go back to the chair, and it's good to be back there because then you can deal with things in a healthy manner. But God can't be out here, you know.
Hmm.
There's nothing to do in the chair. It's not like they need to eat. I'd imagine that would not be the case,
Mm-hmm.
right? Talking about some spiritual, eternal entity, they wouldn't need to take a shit. They
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't need to, yeah,
Yeah.
you know. So it's the only thing to do. It's the only show in town
Right.
is fracturing that consciousness into whatever this is, and then the dimension above us and below us,
Yeah. Well, I have two
and then
things I could talk about with that. Um,
right quick,
yeah.
the not participating. If you get rid of the guilt, no people around you, you're not participating.
If you get rid of guilt, you're not participating.
Yeah,
Okay.
guilt, you will drive everybody away from you, all the people in your life.
Oh, I have, and that's what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind it, but yeah,
But
yeah,
I'm saying, if you get rid of all, if you're fucking Ted Bundy and
yeah, yeah,
you,
yeah. Of course. No, I was kidding, but yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
he had to, whether consciously or subconsciously, get rid of all guilt. I'm sure along the way there were things that would drive everybody away.
So when you were talking about, real quick, I just want to
Yeah.
get this out because it's stuck in my head now. When you're talking about like this higher being, God, we'll say, like he exists in this other, but he has to come into this world, right? That was kind of what you were saying. It reminded me of in mythology. So as I look at like Celtic mythology, for instance, um, to really simplify it again, these beings that were known to have inhabited the realm of Ireland, for instance, uh, they're always talked about manifesting into this world from some other place. They just, I'm in one realm and I manifest out into the external realm. It's kind of the opposite, as I understand it from like Vedic stuff, where you're seeking to transcend in, right, to go beyond, and there's this whole ladder, of this hierarchy and shit that you're going for in their sense. I'm not really into Indian stuff, so I can't go into that, but I do know Celtic things a bit, and they're always talking about there's this physical land that is sought after. That's where we are. This land, right? And these other higher beings will come out of some other aspects. They call it the other world, to really put it simply. They come out of this other world and descend onto this plane. And through that plane, they divide themselves up in such a way where you could see it kind of similar to how mankind divides himself up from like the priestly race, the fucking warriors and the aristocrats and all that stuff. And what I'm getting to is I've always been very keenly aware of that, and I've always been really interested in ancient Sumerian myths and stuff. And I've always was like, what can I do in my mind to unravel maybe why I'm finding something interesting in this stuff? And that was the idea of existing in the mind of God. It's an older idea that we exist in the mind of a God. That's what the cosmos represents, is this vast mind. But for me, I say, like my thought experiment was, so I've talked about this before, but whatever. Um, Ancient story of Gilgamesh and what that represents. When we come to the idea of Gilgamesh in the ancient story, the Epic of Gilgamesh, he is said he's a king of Uruk. And the first thing he has to do is some aspect of him was created by a goddess. And it's his, I'm going to say, more primordial self. It's his more like animalistic. It's just like you. He's your brother, but he's more living in the woods and eating weird shit and not cleaning himself and being dirty and blah blah blah. So that represents old humanity, like where we used to become and where we came from, the forest. Gilgamesh has to go in with his brother into the deep forest and defeat a deity of the forest. And to me, when that happened, when they defeated the deity, we've opened up the concept of a consciousness moving from one point to another, a moving point. We've come out of one realm that we used to exist in. So we could look and say it scientifically, the state that the Neanderthals were in. And for some reason, there was a transcendence of mind into a new state. You move from one consciousness to another. It's like a transference. And now we live inside this consciousness, which has probably moved countless times before. And when I look at Celtic mythology, they always talk about the idea of these higher beings, or lower beings, if you will, coming from one place and zoop, they come into this world to inhabit and create a society around them. It's built around our mythologies. So, in some way, what I think is it could be descendants too. For instance, God living in some unfathomable realm that we can't comprehend, when he comes in here and he kind of like lives in this person's life and does that and lives subjectively, it could be just a birth of descendants into a new state, and it fractures out, and kind of like the mythology I'm writing, that all that must find whole again. The idea is you go out into this world like sperm, and you fucking live in this egg, and only the one can enter, and that's the new unity of what God is trying to be. Like he's almost fractured here, because in mythology, a lot of gods, I can't think of the top of my head, but they always talk about, well, the guy was fractured after a fight. They cut him up into pieces and threw him a bunch of places. And I always see that of like, that's the consciousness. You're born into this realm, you're fractured, and it's about finding unity again. Now, that's just my theory, There's a lot of holes to poke in it. Go for it, but that's just something I'm realizing. Maybe it has something to do with what you're talking about with God and the other
Yeah.
realm, and then here.
So it's like your train of consciousness videos. Essentially, it's you are in the mind of God, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a different kind of consciousness. I would work from home a lot as a teacher. I would get into something, and it was like just this force just going through me, and I just I'm going, you know. Um, but it all ropes back to motivation being avoiding guilt, and I think guilt might just be a simple way of saying like God's will.
Yeah, it could be like a code. If you think of it like in a modern sense, it's like this is a code that'll come up when it needs a kickstart. Like, you're not doing the thing you're meant to do. Boom, guilt.
Yeah, it's a little guilt button gets
Yeah.
pushed.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so the question is then, what's the motivation of God?
Crikey. As I understand it,
Or Mother Gaia, whatever you want to call it.
man, I don't know. I would say, see, this is why I find it unfathomable whenever I'm doing that kind of work, because I'm like, I don't know the motivation to all this stuff. I'm just kind of doing what I'm supposed to do. Like I was saying, like, well, why are you doing it if it's external and something's telling you to do it? I don't know, because I can't know the aspect of God's will. If you want to say God, I think it's much bigger, and I know let's just simplify it and keep it at God. But I can't know that, so I can only assume whatever I'm being. They always say God works through you. Well, whatever I'm supposed to do, I'm going to do that, whatever that is. If that's right, some stupid little fucking story that 10 people are going to be like, well, that's kind of cool. I guess that was my purpose. But that might trigger one guy to do something bigger. I don't know. I wonder if it's like a trickling effect. It's how can you know aspects of yourself sometimes? Why am I doing this? When you catch yourself and you go, why am I doing this? Something like that.
Yeah. Have you ever completed a video game like at 100%?
Like the main story and side quests and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, yep.
So what do you do after that? You look for the side quests, right?
If it lets you, yes.
Yeah. And then after that,
I
so
don't do
you
that
really
shit.
what?
I don't like doing side quests. I only do
Okay.
the main
Well,
quest and I'm out.
um,
But I'll go
but
for
like
your
remember
point.
World Sandbox games that really big
Yeah.
from Rockstar Games,
Yep.
Grand Theft Auto and Bully and stuff. I remember like with Bully, I would once I completed everything, I would dress him up in a dunce cap and like a t-shirt and underpants, just like the tidy whitey underpants, because it looked fucking hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would steal a little motorbike and run over everybody,
Mm.
like on the school grounds. I'd go into town. I'd I'd use a slingshot on the cops in the little town there. Like you just start looking for like what can I do? So entertainment, novelty,
Could be.
something.
See, and that's what's interesting, because like when I play a video game, for instance, I just go straight. I'm that guy that's like last level and I'm like level 4, because I just want to do the main quest. I don't like dicking around. I hate edging. I don't like foreplay. Let's
Here's a
just get into this shit,
Andre, imagine though that all you can do is play that video game. You can't stop. You can't play a different game. You can't take a break and go have a snack. No, you are controlling the video game. You're not in it, but you're controlling it, and that's all that you can do.
Same. I've did my purpose. I've done what I was supposed to do.
So God should just end everything now.
That'd be nice. Like we can only hope. No, but see, that's just my way of life. You know, I've been called pessimistic, not narcissistic. I always say that one, pessimistic, or I forgot what that's, pessimism. Yep, and that's just how I am. I always kind of see it's all pointless, man. Like in my own life, I don't like doing things that don't matter because I'm just like, it's a waste of time. Fuck this. I'm out of here. I don't want to. You know, whether that's a little mission where I'm helping in a video game an old lady collect water so she can feed her fucking ducks. I'm like, fuck your ducks. There's a dragon. You know, like who gives a shit about your little thing? Like I got over here into the main thing. And that's because I get caught on that stuff.
His life purpose was empathy.
Mm-hmm.
Gee.
Not for me. Exactly. And that's why it's very fascinating, because when you try to explore empathy, the more you realize you don't really have it in the first place. At least have it the way that you think you do. I'm just as much a piece of shit as anyone that's ever done anything horrible in this world. And I mean, that's just what I've learned with that. But anyway, back to the point. I think for myself, I always had a hard time with that idea of trying to explore something. You know, when I play a video game, for instance, that's an open world, I find that too overwhelming. I'm like, fuck this. I just, because that's too many things to do, too much stuff.
Yeah, but like if you were forced to play the game.
Ah, okay.
You're like locked in a cell, right? If you get put in jail, max security, it's just you. There's nothing to do all day but this game.
Do I understand why?
Hmm?
Do I get to understand why?
Eventually, you'd get to the point where you'd do everything in the game.
Only in the game. I can't figure that out outside of the game.
If you were locked down and forced to play this video game, and that's all that you could do,
mm-hmm.
Eventually you would do. You might not want to do the side quest or something, but eventually you would do it on a long enough time scale.
Mm-hmm.
So you're there for eternity. You're like one of the old gods or something, you know.
Yeah.
Eventually, you would do all the things in the game because, well, what else am I gonna do?
That sounds like it's a hell then. So is this world a hell?
No, because we could do.
Well, I mean, you can do good things in hell too, I'm sure. I mean, not the Christian hell, but like the idea of hell in general.
Yeah, well, it's the whole point of hell is like to burn off the karma, and anyway, I'm explaining the whole novelty or entertainment point.
I guess I don't like the idea of someone making something for me to lose myself in. You know, like I just kind of think, again, it's hard for me to, because it's not real, but I'm always like, fuck you. If you want me to do it, then I'm going to just sit here and just blink endlessly until something happens. It's Allegory of the Cave. You're going to look at the screen of all the fake stuff because they told you to, or you're going to turn your fucking head and go like, well, fuck this. I'm going to maybe try to get out of here. I'm going to at least try, you know, like that's the mentality, I guess.
I used to use that one with my students. With our AI unit, we watched them part of the Matrix, and to help kind of explain the blue pill, red pill thing. The blue pill is staying in the cave, and the red pill is
right, yep,
outside. I think we've beat this one into the ground pretty good.
Okay.
Everyone's motivated by avoiding guilt, and God wants entertainment. So
you can laugh at me every day. That's cool.
Avoid as much guilt as you can until you stop participating, and then get back on your horse.
You want to end it on like a profound thing?
We'll do it like we did last time.
Like sex, you know? Just sex. Sex. That's the only thing I can think of right now.
Sex. You don't want to do that.
You could.
We're going to talk about sex. I was in high school, like a senior in high school.
This is my favorite part. We're going to talk about penises for 15 fucking minutes straight, and talk about mine in particular. So how do you feel about that, by the way?
Talking about penis size.
Hell man, let's go. Might show a picture of it. I need to, you know.
Post a dick pic and just upload it, and I'll look at it.
It's harder, so you could really get in there more. But clearly that's not his. That's not me.
Pretty much on brand.
Fuck. Damn. You got the birthmark.
That's another video.
I'm gonna leave it at that.